So here's the rest of our preamp components, and I'm just going to go through the different components and tell you what each one of them are. This is the volume control and the blend control, which is the passive side, and then over on the active side we have the active EQ components. We have the EQ board itself, which has the bass control mounted on it. We have mid-range control, in this case the high-mid, and the separate treble control. The MicPo preamp is most commonly installed as a 3-band preamp, and that's exactly what we're doing here. It's 4-band capable. You can install 4 bands if you want, and you'd have a high and a low mid, but just to keep it simple, we're just installing it as a 3-band. In addition to that stuff, there's the single 5-conductor cable, the single 3-conductor cable, 3 of the 4-conductor cables, and the power assembly, and 2 little tiny jumper blocks. And we need these jumper blocks in this installation because we're using it with EMGs, and these little jumper blocks get placed on the balancer board to match the impedance of the EMG pickups. And that's the first thing that we want to do. It's probably the hardest thing to do. You just grab each little jumper. Now down in the corner of the balancer board there are three spots for jumpers, and we want the 2 that are closest to the corner, so the bottom 2. So this one goes in the middle 2 and the bottom 2. Yeah, just like that. And now we can start assembling the other components. So the first thing that we want to do is we're going to take one of our 4 conductors and our balancer board, and then there's a white socket on the top corner, and we're going to plug one end of this 4-conductor into it, and the other end of the 4-conductor goes into the white socket on the volume push-pull board. Just like that. And then we're going to take our single 3-conductor, and that goes, we plug that into the only white 3-conductor socket on the blend board, just like that, and that comes over to the single white 3-conductor socket on the volume board. Just like that. And then we can plug in the power connector, and this plugs into the red 4-conductor that's kind of in the middle of the blender board. So that takes care of that. And we can move over to the EQ side, and first we'll plug in the mid-range control using a 4-conductor cable. There's 2 yellow 4-conductor sockets on the EQ board, and it doesn't matter which one we use. They're both that's both the same jack. It's actually the component it's the components on the mid-range component that determines the EQ value. And it's not which one you plug it into, so it doesn't matter, just choose one. I'm choosing that one. And then that plugs into the yellow 4-conductor socket on the mid board, just like that. And then we take our remaining 4-conductor and plug it into the purple 4 socket, which is up in the corner of the EQ board, and then plug that, the other end of that, into the 4-conductor socket on the treble board. And that puts our 3-band EQ together. And then we just need to join the 2 sections, and we use our 5-conductor cable to do that. They're the only 5-conductor cable in the whole system. It's a white socketed 5-conductor connector on the blender board. Like so. And then that gets plugged into the EQ board. Just like that. And that was pretty easy. Now that these are all connected, jumpers installed, we can bring this over to the instrument.